Hello, welcome. It's Liz from West Star Tarot, and today I am here to do a walkthrough and a brief discussion about a tarot deck that came into my collection last month in December, and that's the Wee Moon Tarot. And I love the Wee Moon Collective. I have been using their planner or date book for years now, decades actually, and I've mentioned it on my channel multiple times how my sister gives me the planner every year at solstice. And Wee Moon is a collective of women that makes planners and calendars from women's art. And starting in 2017, I believe, they had tarot themes. So 2017 was Stardust, so it featured the Star card. And then 2018 was the Moon card. 2019 was the Sun. 2020 was Judgment, and 2021 was the World. So those were just the focuses of those years. And so apparently Musawa, who's the founder of Wee Moon, is also a tarot reader, and saw that a lot of the art images could be used to represent tarot cards. In fact, several of the images over the years have been from tarot decks. So just off the top of my head, Star Tarot by Kathy McClellan, The Weaver's Oracle by Carolyn Hilliard, the Dark Goddess deck by Ellen Lorenzi Prince. That's just off the top of my head, and there's probably been others. So the artwork obviously is done by a mixed group of artists, which is not always my favorite thing, but in this case, it works for me. I have not used this deck a real lot so far, only a couple times. I didn't use it in December because I was working on a tarot challenge where I had committed to just using one deck, and that was the Next World Tarot. So we just are into the beginning of January now, and so I'm just starting to explore this lovely deck. And I thought I'd start with the guidebook. It's quite meaty. It's surprising, has a lot of information. One of the things I really love at the beginning is the dedication. The Wee Moon Tarot is dedicated to Pamela Coleman Smith, the unacknowledged woman artist who created the renowned Rider-Waite Tarot deck in 1909. Never published under her name while she was alive, that is. And so this all-women tarot deck is dedicated to her in sisterhood to restore her rightful legacy 113 years later. So I do love that the deck is dedicated to Pixie and has acknowledged her as a huge influence in the current tarot world. Although I'm sure she never realized how big her legacy would be. So let's talk a little bit about the deck, and then I'll show you some cards. So the influences or the structure of the deck is as follows. There is an image, obviously, on each card, an element, and a number. And so the image is sort of the first thing that you would take in. Here's the Fool. So the guidebook, says, look at the image and see what pops out to you, see if anything speaks to you in particular. And then, so that would be your first cue. And then, especially for the minor arcana, we would then next look to the element. And so we have fire, water, air, and earth, and then spirit for the majors. So instead of calling the suits swords, wands, cups, or discs, or pentacles, they are called air, fire, water, earth. And I do like that in a tarot deck. And then they talk about numbers. So the number of each card in its element is the third primary clue, and what position that occupies in the progression of numbers 1 through 10 in the minor suits. And so each of the cards is then also affiliated with a mode. So the cardinal, fixed, or mutable mode. And that's repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable, cardinal, fixed, mutable. And then the 10th card is called the Grand Trine, and it represents all of those. So for example, let me just pick up the air. The 10 of air would be, let me look at the guidebook, sorry. The 10 of air would be the Grand Trine of air. And it would be, let's see, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, so the 3 air signs, cardinal, fixed, mutable. And so for each of the 4 suits, we would have that repeated. So that's sort of the structure. And then we would go on to what we often call the court cards. In this deck, they are called the phases. So instead of calling them court cards, it alludes to sort of a phase of life. And I really do like that. So it's the life cycle phase, and it is as follows. So I'm reading this from the guidebook. So the Amazon or daughter is affiliated with Cardinal, and that is for her amazing energy and strength of life, spirit, in the process of creating her own identity and life, continually growing from birth, childhood, adolescence, teenage years to young adulthood. And then the next phase would be mother/priestess, which is also in the cardinal mode, for her special creatrix ability to bring spirit into form by birthing, nurturing, and raising life directly from within her own body, and or by bringing the creative offspring of her body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit to life. And then third, we have the matriarch or clan mother. This is fixed for her special matrix role in carrying on, supporting, and helping sustain her extended family, clan, community center, life's work, building on what she has started in her earlier phases. And then finally, representing the mutable mode, we have the crone/sage, for her experience as an elder foremother with the accumulated wisdom and guidance she has gleaned from living a long life, shape-shifting, as she is transformed through her own life experience, passing on what she can before she herself passes on. So these 4 phase cards represent different stages in a person's life. And I really love that. We have moved beyond court cards to phases of life, and that seems to suit us better in our modern era. So let me go through. I think I'm going to, let's see, how do we, I have a slight injury here, so this may be a little bit tricky. Let's see, here we go. So here's the Fool. And some of these pieces of art I remember from the not the guidebooks, the planners. Oh, I love this. This is the Empress. It's called the Great Mother Embodying Spirit. And then instead of the Emperor, we have the Empowerer. And I just love that. This is Kuan Yin, Wisdom, Compassion, and Power. Sacred Paths for the Hierophant. Lovers. Charioteer. And I really love calling it Restored Justice, because that's something that I'm working on, and I hope you are too. And here we have Wisdom or the Crone, Wheel of Life. And this, I actually have a card, you know, like a greeting card that I put out on my altar from this beautiful image. Strength. The Hanged One. Oh, I love this Death card. This is from the Star Tarot by Kathy McClellan. Temperance. Wild card for the Devil. And look at all this. Look at these people. That's our addiction, I guess, huh? The Tower. The Star. The Moon. This is also from the Star Tarot. The Sun. Judgment. And the World. And there are quite a few cards that have the horizontal exposure, which again is not always my favorite thing, but you know, it is what it is in this deck. And I mentioned when I talked about using this deck in my December favorites video, that I might be using this as more of an oracle than a tarot. I'm not sure, we shall see. But anyway, if that's the case, then. So here we see, this is the One of Air. Two of Air. This is a gorgeous card. It's called Dialogue. And this one I pulled a couple days ago, the Three of Air. And I like this in terms of if you combine the number 3, which I see as expansion, and the element air as the mental realm, communication, and so forth, I think this is really a much more apt image than the heart with the swords piercing it. This is from Ellen Lorenzi, Princess, Dark Goddess, Tarot. The air suit is very different from the Rider-Waite-Smith or our traditional ideas about the air suit. So here's the Seven of Air, Community Council. The future is female. And the Eight of Swords is Goddess Consciousness Rising. And they talked about consciousness raising groups, which brought me back to my days in the 70s when the big thing was consciousness raising groups. You know, you would go sit in people's living rooms and we would discuss how we could raise our consciousness and become more, well, I guess the term would be intersectional now, although we weren't using that term then. So you can see there's several of the horizontal landscape. Here we see the phases. So here is the, I'm sorry, no, this is the trine, the 10 of air, which is prana, breath of life, which I think is just gorgeous. Now we're into the phases. So this is the daughter, Amazon daughter, priestess mother. This is beautiful. The matriarch and then the crone. So that's the air suit. Here's the fire. I love this one. It's called Radiance. Colorful queer. Oh, sorry, colorful queen. Even with glasses, I'm having a hard time reading. Sorry, guys. Upside down. Celebrate. This is the Amazon daughter. This is a representation of Bridget as mother. And then the matriarch and the crone. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this one. This is called Cauldron of Regeneration. And it is the tree of life, nevermore. It's an homage to the mothers of the disappeared. So that is a really powerful image. Now we'll move on to water, and I'm gonna read some of these titles. Having a little bit of a struggle with my hand, so please bear with me. Water is life for the Ace of Water. Two of Water, water is love. Can you see that? All right, yeah. Love makes a family for the Three of Water. Riding the waves for the Four. Five of Water, deep grief. Another really powerful card. Reverence, connection, protection. This is by Sudi Rukusin. I know she was a famous women's artist in the, I want to say 80s and 90s. She did a lot of calendars and date books, and I love her artwork. This is called Dreaming for the Six of Water. Seven of Water, Moon Circle Sisters. Seven Sisters of the Moon. Eight of Water, Lunar Mystery. Nine of Water, this is gorgeous, Beloved. What a beautiful image. The Cosmic Mother. Heart to Heart for the Trine or the 10 of Water. And then we have the phases, so the Amazon daughter, Moon Time. Lunar Consciousness for the Priestess or Mother. Water Matriarch, water is healing. And then Water Crone, the gift of life. Sorry. There we go. And finally, we're going to end with the Earth suit. And I love, 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 love this image. I can remember when it was in the planner, I just was like, oh. So this, look at that face. This is called All One, and the title of the piece of art is called Mother Nature at the Age of 3. I mean, is that not the best? Look at her. Oh, I love it. Duality, both and for the 2. 3 of Earth, Gaia rhythms. 4 of Earth, familiars. And the title is Jennifer Loves Her Kids. You can see the goats. 5 of Earth, healing ourselves. 6 of Earth, abundance. 7 of Earth, sustainability. And I pulled this card as sort of my theme for 2023. And my theme to sort of finish up and heal from 2022 was the 9 of Fire, which will, I'm sorry, the 9 of Fire, so like the 9 of Wands. Earth regeneration is the 8 of Earth. All our relations is the 9. Mother Earth is the 10. And for our phases, the Amazon daughter is the witches are back. This is the Earth Priestess Mother, spirit connection. Earth Matriarch, saving seeds, and this is from the Weaver's Oracle. And then finally, our Earth Crone Sage is Love the Earth. So that's a walkthrough of the cards and a little overview of how the deck was intended to be used. As I said, I have not, I've only had a few pulls from this deck. There are some spreads in the guidebook. The guidebook itself has great bits on how to use the cards, and it has, you know, a page on each card, in addition to information about, you know, how to use the deck and what the pieces of the deck symbolize. So let me know if you get this deck or if you're interested in this deck. I am so excited about this. I'm really looking forward to exploring it, and I will do a review in another month or so when I've had time to use the deck more, to sort of let you know, can I use it as a tarot, or is it more of an oracle? And for me, the difference would be, for oracles, I don't really do multi-card spreads. I usually just pull 1 card at a time, maybe 2 at the very most. As opposed to multiple card spreads that I do with tarot. But we'll see. I'm not sure. It's one of those things I'm going to have to play with and kind of see how it plays out for me. So blessings to you all, and I hope this finds you well. And please let me know your thoughts about this lovely deck.